Everyone, welcome to Study Filia Education. Today we are going to learn about the Harappan civilization. I am Supriya Tyagi, a history honor student from Delhi University. And before we jump into the unit, we'll look to some questions that are going to get answered in this lecture, like how the Harappan civilization was discovered, what are its chief characteristics, what is the geographical extents, what are the different sites, and how did the transition from early Harappan to mature Harappan took place. So, in the previous lecture, we learned about the Neolithic revolution, how human beings transformed from hunter-gatherers to become food producers. This transition, we learned about that, and now in this lecture we are going to learn about the next important stage in the human development, that is the emergence of cities or urbanization. These settlements were distinct from villages. They mark the rise of a more sophisticated civilization and a way of living. So first we'll know about the discovery and how the name Harappan civilization came to be. So in 1924, John Marshall announced to the world the existence of an ancient civilization called Indus Valley Civilization. But this was not a sudden announcement, because Harappa was excavated in 1920 by Dayaram Sani and Mohenjo-daro was excavated in 1921 by Rakhaldas Banerjee. So after these excavations, the similarities in both these sites was discovered, and this similarities was recognized by Sir John Marshall. So excavations were carried out by these two Indian archaeologists, but the similarities were recognized by John Marshall. So he announced to the world in 1924 that a new civilization, and it's a new civilization named Indus Valley, but it is the oldest civilization in the subcontinent. The discovery is new to us, but the civilization is the oldest civilization in the subcontinent. So this was in the these development took place in the 1920s. Now we'll see what took place 50 years before this. The first person who came across Harappa was Charles Mason. He identified it and called it an ancient city called Sangala, belonging to the time of Alexander. So we shouldn't see, when we talk about Harappa, we shouldn't talk about these excavations only that were carried out by Dayaram Sani and Rakhaldas Banerjee, because before these excavations there were a lot of mistakes or lot of assumptions being made about Harappa which were very wrong, like this. But we don't discard these assumptions, because these assumptions got people and archaeologists talking. They got the archaeologists interested in India. That is why in 1853, Alexander Cunningham visited the ruins and mistakenly concluded that this site was a Buddhist monastery. He also came across seals associated with this civilization and believed them to be of a foreign origin, because they depicted a bull without a hump. Hence, it is not Indian. So there were a lot of बहुत सारे गलत थ्योरीज भी आगे रखी गई थी, बट हम उन गलत चीज़ों को भी पढ़ते हैं जो गलत इन द सेंस जो भी डिस्कार्डेड हो चुकी है, जो हमें पता है सही नहीं है, बट हम उन्हें भी पढ़ते हैं ताकि हमें एक डेवलपमेंट, एक ये जो स्टेज है कि इस पहले ये हुआ फिर ये हुआ, बेशक गलतियाँ की, बट हम उन्हें भी पढ़ते हैं ताकि जो एक्चुअली में जब एक्सकेवेशन हुई और जब पूरे द होल वर्ल्ड गॉट टू नो अबाउट दिस, सो वी रियलाइज इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंस. सो the only reason, like one of the reasons Alexander Cunningham didn't consider it to be an Indian civilization, because उधर एक बुल दिखाया था और बुल पे हम्प नहीं था, तो लाइक ये बुल इंडियन नहीं है, तो ये सिविलाइजेशन भी इंडियन नहीं. Now let us learn about the nomenclature. In the initial years of its discovery, this civilization was known as Indus Valley Civilization, because most of the sites that were excavated, like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Chanudaro, they were discovered around the Indus Valley. But after 1947, when Indian archaeologists started excavating more and more sites like Lothal, Dholavira, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Banavali in Rakhigari and Haryana, some sites like Shotugai was discovered in Afghanistan. the biggest concentration of sites, like 174 sites, were discovered in the Cholistan area of Pakistan. And these sites are now located in the old bed of river Ghagar. Ghagar Hakra, these are two rivers, and the old bed of them, there we archaeologists discovered these sites. So now archaeologists came to know that these sites are not only concentrated around the Indus Valley River, they are spread throughout the northwestern region. Some sites are in Afghanistan, some sites are in Punjab, Haryana in India, in Gujarat, Rajasthan, and some sites are near the Indus Valley. So as many new sites were discovered, it was no longer appropriate to just call this civilization Indus Valley civilization. So many scholars prefer the term Harappan civilization, following the archaeological convention of naming a culture from where it was first discovered. So there is the first site that was discovered, that was excavated, was Harappa. So they followed this archaeological convention. जो पहली साइट है हम उसी पे civilization का नाम रख देंगे, that is Harappa. Now let us see this Harappan civilization geographical extent. So the Indus or Harappan settlement is spread over a wide area which includes India's northwest and Pakistan. Geographically, the civilization included more than the Indus zone. It was a combination of river and lowlands that stretched towards the east and the southeast into UP and Rajasthan, the highland and coastal areas of Balochistan, and the coast belt of Gujarat. So we can see some famous sites. The cities we can see are Mohenjo-daro, Rakhigari, Harappa. Then we can see important sites such as Al-Junais, Bampur, Shahi Tumb. We see that the northernmost site at the top of the map, the northernmost site of the Indus civilization is Shortugai, which is located in Afghanistan. And it was through Shortugai, these sites are very important because it was through the Shortugai that Harappan civilization could gain access to lapis lazuli and to tin and gold resources. Now let us see Harappa. Harappa is one of the most prominent sites, the first one to be excavated, and it is located on the banks of the river Ravi. Now let us learn about the chronology. The dates. The civilization can be dated between 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE with the help of radiocarbon dating. However, the dates of individual sites may vary, but we take a general dating that is from 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE. This entire timeline can be divided into three phases. That is, these phases are depending upon the level of development. So the first phase is the early Harappan phase, the second phase is the mature Harappan phase, and the third phase is the late Harappan phase. The transitional phase that we can see here is placed between the early Harappan and the mature Harappan. So the early Harappan is from 3300 to 2600 BCE. The mature Harappan is from 2600 to 1800 BCE, and the late Harappan is after 1800 BCE to somewhere between 1500 to 1300 BCE. And we see that when we see the features, we know that these phases are divided on the basis of the development, the different development that took place in these areas, the important sites, the different development that took places. On the basis of that, we have divided early, mature, and late. So in the early phase, we see fortification, great planning, but in the mature phase, we see full-scale urbanization, we see emergence of writing, and in the late phase, we see decline, abandonment of some sites. That is why on these developmental features, we divide the early, mature, and late Harappan. Now let us learn about the debate surrounding the origin of Harappan civilization. So when in the initial years of discovery, when early Harappan level was not yet discovered, there was much debate on whether this is the time when early we know we discovered the mature Harappans, but we didn't know how what kind of transition took place, what were the early Harappan sites. We knew about the mature Harappan. So there were a lot of debates whether the civilization had indigenous origin, whether it originated in India or these areas, or whether there was some foreign influence. Foreign influence, what does it mean? The foreign influence was seen in terms of diffusion of ideas or migration of people. So दो तरह के foreign influence हो सकते थे, या तो foreign के ideas like from Mesopotamia civilization, कुछ आइडियाज़ इधर आए इसीलिए सिविलाइजेशन बना, उनके आइडियाज़ लेके सिविलाइजेशन बना, या तो उधर के ही लोग इधर माइग्रेट हुए और उन्होंने ये नया सिविलाइजेशन बनाया. ऐसे बहुत सारे डिबेट्स चल रहे थे. Again, John Marshall, he gave the first understanding in his report on Mohenjo-daro. He said that this civilization is indigenous in origin, but he could not put forward any data to support it. And Gordon Childe believed the same. He agreed. He believed that Harappan civilization was a result of years of effort, which was characterized by a perfect adjustment of human life to its environment. And it was specifically Indian. But N.G. Majumdar's work at Amri as part of the exploration in Sindh provided credence to Marshall and Childe's theory. So Gordon Childe and John Marshall believe that this civilization is very much indigenous in nature, and it is a result of the long and gradual process of adjustment of humans with their environment. And when N.G. Majumdar carried out these excavations at Amri, he supported Gordon Childe's and Marshall's theory, because at Amri, N.G. Majumdar found a distinctive pottery stratified below its Harappan level and noted the similar stratigraphical profile at the number of Sindh sites. So what happened was, at Amri he found this distinctive matlab a particular type of pottery, and when he excavated different sites at Sindh, at the same level he found the same pottery. He argued on the basis of Amri pottery that it represents an earlier phase of Chalcolithic cultures that represented by Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. While N.G. Majumdar, Gordon Childe and John Marshall, they believed in this theory, there were some archaeologists like E.H. Mackay who believed that मेसोपोटामिया का बहुत बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस है ये अर्बन फेज जो आया हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन में. ड्यूरिंग द मैच्योर फेज द मेसोपोटामिया प्लेज अ ह्यूज रोल in the development of this urban phase in Harappan civilization. He argued that the civilization was a result of interaction between the invaders from Uruk culture of Mesopotamia and the indigenous people. Stuart Pigott, supporting Marshall, argued that the civilization had indigenous origin. But M. Wheeler ruled out this possibility. He too considered the influence of Mesopotamia to be critical, but did not argue for any migration of people. He said, so E.H. Mackay का कहना था कि मेसोपोटामिया उरुक से people आए, invaders आए, they invaded this region, मतलब लोगों का migration हुआ, and that is why we see the urbanization of Harappan civilization on the mature phase. And M. Wheeler supports C.H. Mackay, but only half of his theory. He recognizes that in Mesopotamia का influence है, no doubt Mesopotamia का influence है, but there was no migration of people. कोई migrate नहीं हुआ, बस Mesopotamia का urbanization was an example, and Harappan, the people who lived there, they looked at Mesopotamia as a model, and so they developed their own urbanization. So M. Wheeler said that Mesopotamia was the first to urbanize and it acted as a model One of the traditions borrowed was that mud brick architecture and the citadels built within Harappa and Mohenjo-daro hint at alien domination. So he supported his theory by saying that the citadel and the mud bricks architecture that we see in Harappa, they are an example of the alien domination of Mesopotamia. Now various sites such as Kot Diji, Amri, Kalibangan, they were excavated. So F.A. Khan of Pakistan excavated the Kot Diji in Sindh in 1955 and 1957. So various findings, they found various things. It brought to a light a fortified and planned pre-Indus settlement. Various type of potteries from pre-Indus Kalibangan they were found. So F.R. Olchin and Bridget Olchin argued that there is a possibility that Harappan civilization was derived from pre-Harappan culture. So now they were getting to its root. How did the mature Harappan came to place? It derived from its pre-Harappan culture. So in Indian archaeological literature in 1960s, the term which was frequently used to describe the discoveries at Kot Diji and Kalibangan and other sites was pre-Harappan. But in 1970, Mr. M.R. Mughal used the term early Harappan to denote the following characteristics. What are those characteristics? First, permanent occupation and elaborate architecture. Second, the emergence of administrative centers as suggested by fortification of walls, common knowledge and use of copper, uniformity of bone and stone tools. Fifth, specialized craft suggesting possible occupational and class stratification. Sixth, use of wheeled carts. He called this phase a phase of incipient urbanization, which was subsequently crystallized into homogeneous and standardized artifactual remains of the mature phase. So, in the 1970s, it was established that the early Harappan level preceded the mature Harappan phase, and this theory became increasingly acceptable. Now let us study the early Harappan cultures in more detail. The emergence of mature Harappan phase was not a sudden development. We know that from the excavations that are carried out at different sites. So the roots of mature Harappan phase lies in the changes seen in the several Neolithic Chalcolithic cultures in the area that took to food production. We will read about these sites and cultures in details. In the previous lecture we read about Mehergarh and other sites in Punjab. From about 3300 BCE, many of these sites started seeing new development that were precursor to the mature Harappan phase. What were these new developments? So Mehergarh in Baluchistan, Gumla and Rahman Dheri in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Hakra culture in Cholistan, Punjab and Haryana. All these sites, they started seeing new developments, which were that architecturally fortifications emerged. There was division of settlements in two parts. There was grid planning. Harappans used bricks which were in a particular ratio, that is 1:2:4. We see craft production in beads, shell bangles. We see stone tools and even copper metallurgy. We see development of trade networks. In some sites we see usage of writing for communication, with many signs resembling the mature Harappan script. In agriculture, the cropping pattern resembles the one found in the mature phase. So all these types of developments started taking place from about 3300 BCE, and we call these developments are the developments that took place in the early Harappan period. Now there are four cultures in the early Harappan period, that is Kot Diji, Soti Siswal, Amri Nal and Dam Sadat. So these four cultures are divided, or they are differentiated on the basis of the ceramics that are found there by the archaeologists. So the ceramic differences have led archaeologists to classify the early Harappan cultures into four: Kot Diji, Sothi Siswal, Ambri Nal and Dam Sadat. So let us learn about Kot Diji. Kot Diji culture is the most significant of the early Harappan cultures. It was first identified at Kot Diji in Sindh in 1955 by F.A. Khan. The site was occupied during both the early and the mature Harappan phases, and the early Harappan date back to 3300 BCE. We see fortification here. We see that walls are made up of mud bricks and stone and was provided with bastions. From inside the settlements, archaeologists have recovered microliths tools like beads, terracotta toys, cattle figurines, bangles, pottery. This is an important point, that the pottery on which these four cultures are differentiated, the pottery consists of well-fired red and buff wares. This is the type of pottery that is found in Kot Diji, known as well-fired red and buff wares. Common motifs which are found on these potteries are horned deity, peepal leaves, and fish scales. Now let us see Cholistan. So the Kot Diji culture here succeeded the Hakra phase. So first in Cholistan we see the Hakra phase, and then we see the Kot Diji culture. There are some other important sites of Kot Diji except Cholistan. There is Tarakai Kila, Jandi Babar, Rahman Dheri, Sarai Khola in Potwar Plateau. In Rahman Dheri, which is a very important site, it has yielded two significant finds. We see an ivory seal and the presence of graffiti on pottery. These indicates the beginning of a system of communication and perhaps political control. Now let us see Punjab, which also shows Kot Diji culture. The site Punjab where early Harappan culture is featured is Jalilpur and Harappa. We shall only discuss Harappa. The Kot Diji culture in Harappa dates back to 2800 to 2600 BCE. Here also the Kot Diji culture is succeeding the Neolithic Ravi Hakra phase. We see that in this site, the settlement is divided into two sectors with streets oriented north, south, east, west. The houses are built of bricks in the ratio of 1:2:4. This is an important site for craft production. We see beads, stone drills and flakes of raw materials. Popular material includes carnelian, jasper, lapis lazuli. The most important discovery from Harappa was an early form of Indus script that was inscribed on a pottery and a square seal. So far in the Kot Diji culture, the three important sites are the Kot Diji, Cholistan and Harappa. Now let us see the Sothi Siswal culture. The two sites are there. First is Sothi, which is in Rajasthan, and Siswal, which is in Haryana. Sothi was excavated in 1955 and Siswal was excavated in 1970. Both of them revealed identical pottery. And A. Ghosh noticed similarities between the pottery excavated at Sothi Siswal and the pottery excavated in the Kot Diji. He saw some similarities in them. He saw similarities in the motifs, but there were certain differences that also he found. It was the differences were in their shape and surfaces. That is why Sothi Siswal culture has been identified as a subculture of Kot Diji, because we see some similarities, that is in the pottery motifs, but the differences, we also see some differences in the shapes and surface. That is why Sothi Siswal is a subculture of the Kot Diji. According to Possehl, around 165 sites of this culture have been identified. Now let us see the Sothi in Rajasthan. So in Rajasthan, Kalibangan is one of the most important sites. This site has given two phases of occupation. First is the Sothi Siswal phase. In this phase, we see we see site surrounded by a fortification wall. Within the wall, we see brick houses made of mud brick and a central courtyard. Towards the south, we see cultivated fields with furrow marks. Now let us come to Haryana. Haryana is rich in Sothi Siswal culture. Besides Siswal, this phase has been observed at Kunal, Balu, Banavali, Rakhigari and Birana. These are some other sites. At Kunal, the proportion of the bricks was 1:2:3 and 1:2:4, and Birana the proportion was 1:2:3. So almost same. In Kunal, the early Harappan site is about 1 hectare. Here we have two early Harappan cultures, IB and IC. The period IB is classified as early Harappan due to presence of Sothi ware in it. But this period does not have any brick made structures. Instead, the people live in wattle and daub structure. So we know what a wattle and daub structure is. There are wood panels, and the wood panels like stripes of wood, and they are covered with wet soil material, which includes soil, mud, clay, and with this they cover the wood panel. So that is a wattle and daub structure. So in the IB period, we don't see brick houses, we see houses of wattle and daub. But in the IC period, we see brick houses, and we see bricks being in proportion. Either the ratio is 1:2:4 or the ratio is 1:2:3, but the bricks are in proportion. We see that houses were also provided with refuse bin and soakage jar. Now let us study the Amri Nal culture and the special case, that is Gujarat. So first we will see the Amri Nal culture. The sites of this culture have given a mixed assemblage of two potteries, one discovered at Amri and one discovered at Nal. So till now we know that these cultures have been divided on the basis of the type of pottery that have been found there. There is Kot Diji, there is Sothi Siswal. Sothi Siswal is considered as a subculture of Kot Diji only because दोनों की पॉटरी में एक सिमिलैरिटी है कि मोटिव्स कुछ में सेम है, बट डिफरेंसेस भी है कि उनका शेप और साइज सरफेस थोड़ा अलग है. सो देर इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पॉटरी वी आर डिवाइडिंग. सो देर इज कोट डीजी, सोथी सिसवाल, एंड नाउ इज अमरी नाल कल्चर. So Amri Nal it has two types of pottery. One is found in Amri and one is found in Nal. These sites are found in both Sindh and Balochistan. While Balochistan have more of Nal pottery and Sindh have more of Amri pottery. The Amri pottery may be described as pottery fired to light red or buff color and then covered with red or buff sliff and painted black. So in the Kot Diji culture, we saw that what kind of pottery we saw? Well fired red and buff wares, which has motifs like horn deity, people leaves, ये सब था उस पे. और in Amri Nal we found that the pottery is red or buff color, but then it is painted black. The motifs on this pottery consist of geometric designs which are filled with red color. The designs on the pottery were filled with different colors, making it one of the most beautiful potteries discovered from the subcontinent. Nearly 164 sites of this culture are known, and most of them being small camps. Some of the settlements that we find in Amri Nal culture are also fortified. Now let us learn about Gujarat and why is it considered to be a special case. Because in Gujarat it is very important, we find both Amri Nal and Kot Diji pottery. So we know what is Amri Nal and Kot Diji pottery. Amri Nal it is painted black, and then over the black paint there are various colorful motifs and designs. and Kodiji is just red buff ware pottery which has motifs on it. So in Gujarat we find both the types of pottery. At Dholavira, two periods 1 and period 2 have been considered early Harappan. This site, the Dholavira site, from the start was fortified and made with the wall of rubble stones set with mud mortar. Within the fortification, the bricks that were used were of proportion of 1:2:4. In the economic sphere, we see copper metallurgy, there is stone tool industry, shell working, pottery. The pottery discovered here shows an affinity to both the Amrinal and the Kodiji. The inhabitants, the people who lived in Dholavira, they lived in mud brick houses and were familiar with the copper metallurgy. We also see evidences of pottery kilns in where potteries are fired, and the bead production. The pottery discovered here is quite distinct from the early Harappan sites. It is handmade ware having thick dark red slip. The upper level of the period had potsherds inscribed with the Indus script. Now let's come to the Dam Sadat. Dam Sadat is also divided on the basis of pottery. So the pottery discovered, we learned that in Gujarat there is Dholavira and they have a different type of pottery which is handmade and having dark red slip, and on some pots we see that Indus script is also inscribed. Now on Dam Sadat, the pottery that we find is, the Dam Sadat is also a subculture of early Harappa, and in Dam Sadat, the pottery of this culture is influenced by Kodiji, but it has so many distinct plant, animals and geometric motifs that this make it stand out on its own. So जो दाम सादत में पॉटरी मिलती है वो कोड डीजी से सिमिलर तो है, बट जो उसके मोटिव्स डिज़ाइन है वो प्लांट, एनिमल्स और ज्योमेट्री जो भी बनी हुई है उसमें वो बहुत ही डिस्टिंक्टिव है और वो बहुत अलग है सबसे. दैट इज़ वाई वो मोटिव्स की वजह से दिस टाइप ऑफ पॉटरी स्टैंड आउट ऑन इट्स ओन. Posel has called it as localized form of early Harappan culture. About 37 sites of this culture is known. The largest site is Ketamiri, followed by Mundigak. Other important sites of Dam Sadat and Faiz Muhammad. Now we have seen all these 4 sites, that is Kodiji, Sothi Siswal, Amrinal, Dam Sadat. All these sites are differentiated on the basis of pottery tradition that we know, and we learned the different types of pottery that we find there. But इन सारी sites में ऐसी बहुत सारी similarities भी हैं, जैसे the first important development, that is agriculture. We find that in these sites ox was converted into a draught animal. We see evidence of carts which can be studied with the cart wheels, cart frames and bulls in terracotta found at Jalilpur in the Kodiji period. At Kalibangan, archaeologist has discovered a field with straight furrow marks which lie below the mature Harappan debris, leading excavators to assign it to the early Indus period. So these were the similarities that we see, that agriculture was being developed. We see development in agriculture in all these periods. Now from the above features, it is we have written some points that describe the features that constituted the early Harappan phase. So the first is there was fortified settlements, the bricks were in standardized ratio, there was grid planning, houses were planned, there was artifacts that were found, there were different signs of mature Harappan script at a few places. We see geometric motifs at some sites. We see there is a wide transport and exchange of raw material. Ritual beliefs are embodied in a wide range of terracotta cattle and female figures. We see presence of Indus weights in this level. Finally, the unvarying stratigraphical precedence of this level over the mature Harappan one. The occurrence of all these features decisively proves that a widely occurring early Harappan level is the first phase of Harappan civilization. Now let us study how the transition from the early to the mature took place. So at Harappa we see that the upper levels of early Harappan phase, the transition to mature phase is indicated by the construction of habitation area along a grid of north, south and east, west streets. So in different sites we have different evidences that show us that the transition from the early to the mature phase has taken place. At Dholavira we see the period 4 represent classic Indus civilization. We see various Harappan elements such as stamp, seal, script, weights and many typical pottery forms as well as decorative motifs. So how the transition can be explained? The variable identified by scholars is the increasing level of craft specialization in the transitional phase. So in the transitional phase क्राफ्ट में बहुत स्पेशलाइजेशन हो रहा है, बहुत पर्टिकुलर हो रहा है एंड दिस क्राफ्ट इज देन मैन्युफैक्चर एट अ कमर्शियल स्केल. So whatever the type of craft is, bangle making, pottery, they are commercialized, they are made on a large scale now. So this shows us the transition. The presence of bangle shells, blades made of shirt sourced from the Sukur Rohri hills of the upper Sindh reveal this context of Harappa. We see that copper metallurgy is also developed along the Aravali hills. Another variable that shows the emergence of an organized system is the settlement increased in the number in the Indus Hakra plain. So we see that commercialization हो गया है क्राफ्ट का. जो भी क्राफ्ट थी पहले तो वो बहुत स्पेशलाइज्ड हो गई, बहुत पर्टिकुलर हो गई, सबका एक डिस्टिंक्टिव फीचर बन गया एंड देन दैट क्राफ्ट वॉज प्रोड्यूस्ड एट अ लार्ज स्केल एंड इट वॉज डेफिनेटली सोल्ड एंड एक्सचेंज ट्रेड बढ़ गया. वी सी दैट settlements, houses, number of houses, it also increased. We see there is expansion in agriculture with the help of irrigation networks. We see that craft specialization led to socio-institutional changes as well. For instance, gold and silver jewelry obtained from Kunal suggests the emergence of an elite class, and how at Dholavira multiple divisions of urban space crystallized. So we see with specialization of craft, increase of trade, there must be a hierarchy in the society, and that hierarchy is revealed that we see development of an elite class who demands this gold and silver jewelry. And there is a possibility, archaeologists say, that water management and irrigation may have been a socially controlled affair. Thus, the emergence of a controlling or a ruling nucleus on this basis become clear. So, we are done with the early Harappan period and the transition that take place from the early to the mature. We see that the early Harappan period, they lack the uniformity that is visible in the mature phase. In the early Harappan phase, there is no usage of writing, although there is the craft specialization is not there, commercialization is not there, irrigation system develops in the mature Harappan phase. So in the next unit, we'll learn about the mature Harappan phase. Thank you.